Hey guys! Let's get started with our warm-up. We're going to start off first with Frankenstein's. So opposite foot towards your opposite hand. Keep your abs braced. And just, if you can, flex your foot and you'll get a better stretch in the back of your leg. Next in our warm-up are Cobra Shoulder Dips. So you're going to lay on your stomach, have your fingertips onto the ground next to your shoulders. Lift your head, lift your chest, stretch it up, and then drop one shoulder down towards the center, and then press it back up each time. This will feel a nice deep stretch in the shoulder, and try to look past your opposite elbow. Just go as far as you can. If it hurts to be on your fingertips, then you can be flat onto your hands. I just find I get a better stretch in my shoulder this way. Last part of our warm-up is Spinal Twist. Lay on your back, have your arms out to the sides like a letter T. Feet together and flex, and drop your knees over to one side. Keep your feet elevated and only go as far as you can, keeping your shoulders flat onto the ground. This will bring a nice circulation, mobility, and stretch to your spine, and then get us ready to move everything for the workouts. For our first circuit, 1A, we're going to start with elevated plank row. So you're going to either grab a step or a couple of books, top of a push-up position, grab a dumbbell, and tuck your pelvis under, make sure your body is flat, and you're just going to go into a row. Squeeze that shoulder blade back and pin the elbow to your side and up to the ceiling, squeezing back. You can also drop your knees to the ground to do a modified version and still keep those abs nice and tight. And then you're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. Just still making sure pelvis is tucked under, abs are pulled in nice and tight. And try to keep yourself from rocking side to side. Try to keep everything pretty still while squeezing those back muscles, that shoulder blade and elbow straight up. Part of circuit 1A, tricep push-ups. Have your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Elbows are going to be hugged in at the side of your body, and lower yourself down as much as you can, keeping your rib cage pulled in nice and tight, and squeeze your butt. Keep your legs straight. Otherwise, you can also do a modified version, keeping your knees onto the floor, but everything else is still pulled in nice and tight. Now we're going to start off circuit 1B with forward and side kicks. So you're going to stand on one leg, kick forward, and then kick side, and you can tap your toe back down to the ground between the forward and the side kick. Now if it's hard to balance, you can tap your toe down in between each kick just to regain your balance, or if you really need extra support, stand next to a wall and hold on to it. Then you're going to repeat on the other side. So just same thing, just keep those abs nice and tight. You're going to forward, side kick, and then tap down if you can balance. If not, you're just going to tap your toe down in between each kick. Second part of circuit 1B, skater jumps. So you're going to take a big leap to the side, touch your opposite hand to opposite foot, and just do a huge leap as big as you can and just try to, once you land, just jump right to the next and the next and the next. As you can see sideways, you can see my butt is going back and my knees don't pass my toes. Keep those abs in nice and tight. And if jumping's not an option for you, you can step side to side, still keeping good form. Last part of circuit 1B, pike up planks. So you're going to be on your forearms, elbows right underneath your shoulder, tuck your pelvis under, squeeze your butt, and then you're going to lift your hips up as high as you can and drop it back down into that regular plank. So you see I'm kind of lifting up on my toes too when I do this, and just pull that rib cage in, use that core to help lift those hips up nice and tall. Do the best that you can. If you need a modified version of this, I suggest going onto an elevated surface, so like a step or your couch. That'll make it a little bit less intense. Now the first part of circuit 1C, lunge jump burpees. So you're just going to place your hands to the ground, jump back into a plank position, and then as you come up, you're going to do a lunge jump, one jump on each side, then hands to the ground, jump back. Make sure those abs are nice and tight and your back is flat when you jump back into that plank position. And then with those lunge, make sure 90-degree bend in the legs, and you want a big enough space so that you're not folding over your knees or anything. We don't want any knee pain. Now, if jumping hurts, you can also walk it. So hands to the floor, walk it back to a plank, walk it forward, stand up, and then do 2 reverse lunges, one on each side. Just keep your abs nice and tight, still stepping back into a flat plank. And then just make sure, keep good posture when you're doing those lunges. Take a big enough step back so that you keep good posture, and then there's a 90-degree bend in each of your legs. Or if you're having knee issues, then you can just do a half bend on those lunges, whether you're doing the jumping version or the step version. Next, we have pike push-ups. So you're going to have your hands underneath a little bit ahead of your shoulders, and then hips are straight up to the ceiling. Now turn your hands in slightly, and then you're going to bend your elbows, lower your head between your hands as best as you can. Keep your rib cage pulled in, abs nice and tight, and go down as low as you can and pressing it up. A modified version would be doing this from an elevated surface under your hands. The last part of circuit 1C, body saws. So you're gonna get in a plank position, curl those toes under, tuck that pelvis under, keep your back flat, spine is in alignment, keep that head in alignment with the rest of your spine, and just rock forward and back off the toes. Keep that rib cage and abs pulled in nice and tight. Next, for our active recovery, round 1, hollow hold. So look into your belly button, extend those legs out, lift your head, lift your shoulders, extend those arms at the side of your ears, and just hold it there. Make sure that your low back does not lift off the floor, and if it starts to or it starts to bother you, you can bend your knees in, or you can place one foot onto the ground and you can just switch it halfway through the hold. Whichever version is best, do that one, whatever works better for you. You could also support your head with the hands behind your head. Active recovery, round 2, Superman hold. Lay on your stomach, extend those arms and legs out, squeeze your butt, and lift up as high as you can. Keep your neck in line with the rest of your spine. Kind of look down and ahead of your mat, Or if that's too harsh for you, drop your opposite arm, opposite leg, and you're just gonna hold, and halfway through, you'll switch to the other side. Active recovery, round 3, straight leg bicycle crunches. So have your legs straight up and then hands behind your head, opposite armpit towards your opposite leg. Keep your chin away from your chest and then switch back and forth. Keep those abs braced, and then low back is flat along the floor. If the straight legs is too much for you, you can do regular bicycle crunches with the knees bent, or start with your feet onto the floor. And then if you want to try your hand at the straight legs, you can just lift it up with a straight leg, stay to one side, and then switch to the other. Now for circuit 2. You're going to start off with a blast off planks. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees are elevated, and you're going to just sit your hips back and then bring it forward into a regular plank. Keep that pelvis tucked under, abs are pulled in nice and tight. And then if that's too much for you to keep your knees elevated as you sit back, just bring your knees to the floor, and then so you can do a child's pose to a modified plank. Next part of circuit 2, glute bridge side marches. So tuck your pelvis under, lift those hips up as high as you can, squeezing your butt, and then stay elevated. You're just gonna march your feet out side to side. Keep those glutes squeezed. Only step out just a little bit. I don't want your hips rocking or dipping. Just as much as you can, a little bit goes a long way. And just keep those abs braced. And lastly, for circuit 2, bear hold balances. Have your hands right underneath your shoulders, rib cage, abs pulled in nice and tight, knees are off the floor, pelvis is tucked under, and you're just gonna alternate lifting each limb. Arms go straight forward and try to lift your legs up behind you, squeezing everything basically. Just go carefully, slow and controlled. Make sure you're keeping your abs steady and in control so you don't tip over. Bye, have fun.